People in Ibadan used to say that wealth has a smell. Some said it smelled like fresh naira notes. Others said it smelled like expensive perfume drifting out of tinted SUVs along Bodija. But those who truly understood whispered something darker. That some wealth carried the faint, metallic scent of blood. Chief Adebayo Akinwale was a man everyone knew. If you mentioned his name anywhere from Mokola to Jericho, heads would turn. He was the definition of success. Real estate mogul, philanthropist, party host, and a regular face at high-profile events. His mansion in Old Bodija stood like a monument to power. High gates, marble floors, imported chandeliers, and security guards who rarely smiled. On the outside, Chief Adebayo had everything. On the inside, he had nothing. Every morning, he woke before sunrise, not because he was disciplined, but because sleep no longer came easily. His room was large, too large, with silence that echoed, the kind of silence that reminded him of things he had tried to forget. And every morning, without fail, Chief Adebayo would walk into a private room hidden behind a carved wooden panel. That room was where his secret lived. Years ago, when his business was failing and creditors circled him like vultures, a man introduced him to something he did not believe in at first. It started with promises, wealth beyond imagination, influence that could not be questioned, doors opening without knocking. But nothing in Ibadan or anywhere comes without a cost. The first time had nearly broken him. The second time had silenced his conscience. By the third, he stopped asking questions. Now, it was routine. He didn't call it what it was. He called it maintenance, a necessary ritual to preserve everything he had built: the wealth, the respect, the illusion. But there was one part of his life untouched by that darkness: his daughter. Zainab Akinwale was the only light in his world. She was 19, studying at the University of Ibadan, full of life in a way her father could not understand anymore. She laughed easily, loved deeply, and believed in things like honesty, kindness, and God. She was everything he had once been before desperation changed him. Every evening, no matter how busy he was, Chief Adebayo made time to sit with her. They would talk about her classes, her friends, her dreams of starting a foundation to help underprivileged girls in Ibadan. "You have everything, Daddy," she once said. "Why not help more people?" He smiled, but the smile never reached his eyes. "I am helping, my dear," he replied. But deep down, he knew he wasn't. Zainab never asked too many questions about his business. She trusted him completely. That trust was the one thing he could not afford to lose. But secrets, no matter how deeply buried, have a way of rising. It started small. Zainab noticed that her father was often unavailable at strange hours. She noticed the restricted part of the house, the one even the staff avoided. She noticed how certain visitors came at night and left before dawn. And then there was the smell. Faint but present. Like iron, like something she couldn't quite place. One night, during a heavy rainfall that flooded parts of Ibadan and kept most people indoors, Zainab couldn't sleep. The rain hit the roof in steady waves and the power had gone out, leaving the house in darkness. As she stepped into the hallway, she saw something unusual. A faint light, coming from the restricted section of the house. Her curiosity overpowered her fear. Slowly, quietly, she moved closer. Each step felt heavier than the last. The door was slightly open, and what she saw inside would change everything. Chief Adebayo was standing in the center of the room, his white clothing stained. Around him were symbols drawn in patterns she did not understand. The air felt thick, suffocating. And there, in front of him, was something no child should ever see. Zainab gasped. The sound was small, but in that silence it was enough. Chief Adebayo turned. Their eyes met. For a moment, time stopped. In that moment, everything collapsed. Zainab. Chief Adebayo tried to speak, but the words refused to come. It's not what you think. Zainab's eyes filled with tears. You lied to me. Not shouting, not screaming, just stating a fact. And somehow that hurt more. In that moment, Chief Adebayo realized something he had ignored for years. He had traded everything for wealth, including his soul. Zainab ran. Out of the room, down the hallway, out into the rain. He followed, calling her name, but she didn't stop. The streets of Bodija were nearly empty, rain pouring heavily, headlights reflecting off wet asphalt. She ran without direction, her mind unable to process what she had seen. She didn't see the car coming. The impact was sudden, violent, final. By the time Chief Adebayo reached her, it was already too late. He dropped to his knees in the rain, holding her lifeless body, screaming her name over and over again. But Ibadan did not stop. Cars slowed, people gathered, voices whispered. But nothing could bring her back. The mansion became quiet. The party stopped. The visitors disappeared. Chief Adebayo stopped caring. Weeks turned into months. One evening, as the sun set over Ibadan, casting long shadows across the city, Chief Adebayo walked into that room one last time. Not for maintenance, not for wealth, not for popularity, but for closure. Then he walked out and locked the door forever. But some doors, once opened, never truly close. Because in Ibadan, they say wealth has a smell. And if you listen closely, you will know whether it was earned with sweat or bought with something far more costly. Moral lesson. What you build with darkness will one day demand a price in light. And sometimes that price is everything you love.